Hi, I'm Susan Odell. Welcome to the Food Hell Kitchen. Today we're going to talk about grains, whole grains versus refined grains, and what it means to your diet and what you're going to look for when you go to the grocery store. A grain consists of an endosperm, which is the nice carbohydrate-y interior, if you will, and on the outside is the germ and the bran. A whole grain includes all three of those components, and that's where you get your wheat flour, your whole wheat flour. It's where you get your quinoa and your barley and other things that we're going to have a look at in a minute. Your refined grain removes the bran and the germ, and that leaves you with that nice white carbohydrate center. And I say it's a carbohydrate center because that's where most of the carbohydrates reside in a grain. The fiber and the protein are almost all in the outside bran and germ. So once that's gone, all you're left with is a good carbohydrate. Now let's have a look at some of the common grains that we use every day. Our common grains that we have spread out before me are wheat, where you get your flour, where we eat most of our wheat products. We've got rice, we've got oats. Over here we've got barley and quinoa and bulgur and corn. Or actually I have polenta, which is a derivative of corn. Now when you look at the whole grains versus the refined grains, my whole grain here is going to be my whole wheat flour. It's got that brown nutty look to it compared to my white flour, which is highly refined. There is some nutritional value in refined grains. It's just mostly in the carbohydrate area. You don't have the protein and you have some protein, but you have less protein and you have twice as much fiber in the whole grain version. So it's much better for you if you're going to choose some of these products, choose the whole grain variety. And you can do that when you buy pasta. We've got whole grain pasta here versus white flour pasta. And some people say, you know what, it makes me crazy when they do this. Oh, I don't like brown pasta. Well, try it. Once you get used to eating things like whole wheat pasta and brown rice instead of white rice, you're going to find that this has so much more flavor, a great nuttiness that you just don't get with the refined products. Takes a little longer to cook, so you have to plan ahead, but otherwise it's a superior product. The most nutritious of the grains are oats, something that used to be fed only to horses. We now eat them in oatmeal, or granola is a pretty common way that a lot of people consume oats. We have a great granola recipe on Food Hell, and use that. There's no reason to buy store-bought granola. It's usually loaded with sugar, and it is so simple to make at home in about a third, oh gosh, less than that, a tenth of the price. Over here we have barley. Barley is a great additive for soups. It adds a lot of great, not only protein and fiber, but a richness and a good bite to soups. It's a really good thing for a cold winter's day. Quinoa is one of my favorite grains, and this is considered a complete protein. It's one of the few grains that has almost all of the essential protein amino acids in it. It's a fantastic source of good food for you, and it's incredibly versatile. Use it instead of rice, use it instead of couscous, use it instead of pasta. You can toss it with just about anything, and it cooks really quickly. In about 15 to 20 minutes, you've got cooked quinoa. And I like to say it too, quinoa. This is bulgur. Some consider bulgur not a whole grain because it's slightly refined, and the reason it's slightly refined is then it cooks more quickly and it's a little more edible. You can bite into it a little easier. Tabbouleh is made with bulgur, which is a fantastic Mediterranean salad, lots of parsley, garlic, tomatoes, good stuff in there. And finally, corn. Corn is a grain we use all the time. Whole kernels is considered a whole grain. This is polenta. You have cornmeal, polenta, cornstarch. Lots of products are made from corn. A lot of fillers and additives are made from corn also. But this is pretty close to your whole grain product, and you're going to use this in a lot of cooking. You can use it in corn breads and making polenta, which is a fantastic side dish, and it packs a good nutritional punch as well. Whole grains can add a huge amount of protein and fiber to your diet at a really low cost. So when you're shopping for whole wheat products, make sure you read the label. If it's things like bread or other products like pasta that has whole wheat in it, make sure the first ingredient on that nutritional label is whole wheat. Otherwise it may be buried down there in the bottom and you're not really getting a whole wheat product. Also, think about buying brown rice instead of white rice. It packs a lot more nutritional punch, and I think you're going to like the flavor even better. And finally, think about moving into the other types of grains that you might not have tried lately or may not have even tried cooking at home. Things like bulgur and quinoa and barley. They're delicious and they add so much to your dishes that I think you're going to get hooked and you'll find some new dishes that you love to make. Bon appetit! Move into the world of quinoa and bulgur and I can't remember what it is.